Awesome. All right. So I am Sam Wallace.
I'm Sam Driscoll,
I'm AB.
and we are here to watch the Carolina Hurricanes snap a 2-game losing streak, right, fellas?
Attempt.
I'm going to choose to be positive tonight. I'm going to try. I'm more the pessimist of the two of us, though, so it's a different situation for me.
That's true. That's true. But we are coming to you from the Hockey Podcast Network. We are also sponsored by DraftKings. Some news for the Hurricanes. I think, Sam, is Aho coming back tonight?
He skated. I think it hasn't officially been decided yet. I'm kind of trying to just go through and just pay attention. And just to kind of see what's going on. But it looks like it's possible that Aho goes, which is great. Get somebody back. It sounds like Svetch practiced today again out of the yellow known contact. I would be surprised if he suits up Thursday at the very latest. I think we get him back Friday, but I think we get him this weekend at home. So a lot of good news, some bad. Right now, it looks like Pesci he's out again, so that's unfortunate. But and also another piece of big news, we want to wish Tony D'Angelo a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
One of I know AB, you and I are two of his biggest fans, and we are hoping for a Tony D'Angelo goal. So that's my out of the gate prediction is Tony gets a birthday present.
Oh, okay. Okay. Do you think he scores?
I do. I think it's the first one. I think I'm going Tony with the first one on the power play.
Okay. What are y'all score predictions? I have somebody up here, Liam Wolf. It looks like he is predicting a 4-3 Hurricanes win. I'm going to go out and say the Hurricanes are angry and they're ready for a win. So I'm going to go with 6-3.
I think that's possible. 6-3, I think makes a lot of sense.
I mean, what are y'all's scoring predictions?
No, I'm going to go with. I'm probably going to be a little bit less believing in our defense. I'm going to say 6-4, 6-5.
All right, Sam.
I'm going to go with a 5-3 win.
And speak of the devil, we have my co-host. 4-2 Canes win. All right. So Canes wins across the board. So what do you guys think about Kochetkov starting tonight?
I think it's a good move because I think Ronta, I think you could argue that he has let in a soft goal probably the past games that he started. And while Kochetkov, even though I think Colorado, he probably wasn't amazing, I don't think he let in any bad goals at the level that Ronta let in. That's my opinion, but I thought it was the right move.
So we got another score prediction, 5-1. Canes win. Okay, so I don't feel as bad about my 6-3. 6-3 score prediction. So guys, is the penalty kill going to be solved tonight, or we may see the same thing as we have the past gruesome couple of games?
I could see it going in the right direction. I don't think it's going to be probably where they want it, though.
I agree with Sam because I think even though there are players I don't like to have practices, I think practice is a good start on trying to get that penalty kill up to par, starting out at least.
Well, what I'm worried about is the power play is pretty similar to Colorado's because you have Stamkos, you have Hagel, you have Kucherov, you have Hedman, you have Point. And I hope the Canes can, stay at home and not let as many goals as they have recently. But it feels like a swap because last year the power play wasn't very good. Now we're top 10 or tied for 10th, I think. And our penalty kill is at the bottom of the league.
They're getting ready to skate out right now, so I'm hoping we'll get a definitive on Aho.
I hope he plays. And what do you guys think about Svechnikov? When do you think he's going to play? Or if you're the GM or not GM, head coach, would you play him Thursday?
I play him the moment he's 100%. So if he's 100% Thursday, you play him Thursday. If he's 100% Friday, you play him Friday. But I think he's going either Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
And I think Anderson is backing up tonight.
Really?
I'm not sure. And if that is the case, that he is the backup, I think that tells you that Freddie's going to go tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just giving him another day. But they're like, you're good to go. We're going to give you one more night, but you can back up in case, crap fan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What about you? What about you, Sam? We all are both the Sam, so I'm just going to say Sam W and Sam B.
I mean, I agree with Sam there on Frederick Anderson being the backup. So,
all right, let's see. We got some, do we have any more questions? Let's see if we have some more questions here. All right. Okay, this is a good question. Donnell asked a really good question to me. So I asked AB this question the other day when he was doing the live stream. The Hurricanes have a jersey problem. Obviously, they have their main logo of the Hurricane, but wearing the black jersey is not a main Hurricane logo. So I think what he's referring to is, should this be the home jersey?
Yes.
Or should the black be the home jersey?
I like the old Reds. Bring them back. Bring them back.
Mm-hmm.
I have a disagreement here.
Okay.
I like the black jerseys, so I'm a little bit biased there. I really like the black jerseys, with the two flags basically. I'm wearing the old alternate right here. So.
I like that alternate better than our home jerseys now, to be honest, but that's probably nostalgia because the warning flag that we have on the front, it kind of makes it look like a pirate ship warning flag. That's just my opinion. So another thing that we can talk about as well, what are your guys' keys for the game tonight against the really high-powered Tampa team, but they don't have Vasilevsky?
Well, our offense has been pretty solid, so that needs to keep going, take advantage of no Vasi tonight. I think you got to stay out of the box. I'm not even going to say have a penalty kill. I'm going to say stay out of the box. Because Carolina's taken, I believe, either the most penalties or the second most penalties in the National Hockey League this year. Can't do that against Tampa. Can't do that against Colorado. They did it against Colorado. We saw what happened. They do it against Tampa. We know exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be the same thing over again. Then you got to outscore your problems. So, and then you need Kochetkov to come up with the big saves. Maybe a save he shouldn't have. He's got to stop probably one of them. And that's what we really need tonight from Kochetkov. And I think if you get that, you come away with a win.
What about you, Sam?
So to me, number 3, and I think it was the reason why they lost against Colorado, was discipline issues. They cannot take a lot of unnecessary penalties because Tampa is going to hurt you in that department. Another key, kind of leaning toward what Sam said earlier, the fact that your goaltending needs to be solid. Regardless if it's the power play or not, Tampa has Kucherov, Stamkos, Hedman. These are great players. So the goaltending needs to be, I think, a little bit better. I think if we saw the goaltending from the first period of Colorado with Kochetkov and net, I think we could probably win. And then I would say the third key is to keep up the offense because Vasilevsky is not in net. Johansson is in. So those are my 3 keys of the game. What are yours, baby?
Stay out of the box. Like y'all said, stay out of the box. I really want Dmitry Orlov to have a big night because Aho is playing.
He's on the bench. He's with Tavo. Aho's a go. We get our big weapon back tonight.
Great. You know what I am going to do too?
Tears of joy.
Is I'm going to do that as well. Have a scoreboard right in front of us. But we're already started here as the Hurricanes are already in the offensive zone. It went by pretty fast. Orlov is out there first. So it's Jesper Foss, Martin Nook. Chatfield is playing tonight. So Chatfield is paired with Orlov as there's a little scrum in the Lightning zone, and it'll go back out to center ice.
So you must have or you're a little bit ahead of us then.
What do you guys think about Kochetkov playing more outside of his net? Because when I first saw Kochetkov play, it scared me when he would go outside of the net a bunch.
I don't.
It scared me too.
If you're able to do it, I'm all for it. But if you can't, if you're not skilled enough as a skater, I don't think Freddie is as skilled of a skater as Kochetkov. So, where I don't want to see our two goaltenders who are made of glass go out and do that, I'm okay with Kochetkov doing that. I think he's tough, Brazilian. He can do that.
As Tampa Bay is in the Carolina Hurricane zone, as there's a slap shot saved by Kochetkov. Hedman will get to it. Hedman and Cernak are this pair out on the ice right now. You have Kucherov and Braden Point as well. And it's still in Carolina's zone as there's a shot. It's headed by Braden Point, saved by Kochetkov.
Yeah, you're ahead of us.
Yeah, Kochetkov made a nice save there. Braden Point, one of the most dangerous centers in the league right now. So that was a big save.
He is outstanding. Tampa's got one of the most dangerous offenses.
Oh, yeah, what a save.
And the National League. And, when you're having to deal with the likes of Point and basically just anybody who plays offense for
Tampa wraparound. Oh, no. That could have been a disaster right there.
Trying to pull.
Guys, are we getting any more questions? I'm trying to see. I'm looking at two feeds right now. You guys see any questions? Let's see.
So someone.
Oh, here's a good one. You guys didn't know it's the NHL Frozen Frenzy. Isn't that crazy that they're all 32 teams are playing tonight as Kochetkov makes a save, scrum in front of the net. Lemieux and Chatfield. I loved Kochetkov's save right here. He stayed square to the puck. He waited. He didn't try to be aggressive and just made the simple save.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think you're going to get from him. I think it speaks volumes, right, that Kochetkov started tonight over Antti Raanta.
Here's a good one. Do you guys think the Golden Knights have a jersey problem?
I don't think so, personally.
I don't think so either, as Kochetkov makes another save. I think their jerseys are nice.
Oh, yeah, I do too. I think they're great.
There's a little arguing going on in the comments.
Oh, boy.
Not about the game, but about jerseys.
So far, I can say that Kochetkov's keeping Carolina in this game.
Absolutely.
Tampa's how we had two out of there. Looks like 3-4 shots on goal. Tampa could have probably scored on maybe 2 or 3 of them. The defense looked bad. I mean, there Slavin and Burns got beat. That's the stall line on the ice too. So you can't be having those kind of chances come up in front of Kochetkov when you've got those groups. That group specifically on the ice.
100%. As Slavin will try to get to the puck here, pressured by Stamkos. And they will put it back in, and Tampa will get possession. Tampa will send it down the boards. Little scrum there. Nick Paul tries to cross. Not going to go. Seth Jarvis gets to it. And that's back to Nason. Looking for a call. No penalty. Kokoniemi back to Orlov. Back to Shea. Shea shot. That is deflected wide. Orlov back to Kokoniemi. Kokoniemi tried to go off the boards, but that is intercepted. And Tampa will send this back into the offensive zone.
Probably should have been a penalty there. I think Mason drew one. I think that's a missed call, but they got to keep playing. Keep
Absolutely.
If they keep playing like that, Tampa will take penalties.
Aho's attacking, tried to go to the center net, trying to find Natchez, but that was interrupted. Man, these guys are swarming so far. I like seeing this attack the way it is right now.
They need to be aggressive, but you also can't be sure you're giving up the defensive side, especially when you're playing against a solid offensive group like Tampa.
Absolutely. Can you guys believe Steven Stamkos is frustrated with contract negotiations when Steven Stamkos is still a top 20 center in the NHL and his shot is so powerful? If you were the GM of the Lightning, would y'all extend Stamkos? He's 33.
I would have extended him in the offseason. This shouldn't be a question. You get that. He's your leader. Just like the question with George Stahl, I thought that took too long. You signed your captain. This has happened to Stamkos before, and I think he's frustrated with that. And I think I think rightfully so.
Yes, and also we have the warning take saying
yes.
Welcome, friend.
Yes, welcome.
He does a really great job. He did a Aho video recently of comparing him to Rod Brindamore, and it was spectacular. And rumor has it he's doing one on Alexander Nikishkin.
That's a good player to do something on. Prospect for Carolina. He is the top prospect for Carolina.
Oh, 100%. As Orlov will get to it. Tried to send it back to Bunting, but that's interrupted. And they'll dump it back down. Burns will get to it. Orlov gets it. He'll try to send it back in, and that's interrupted again.
But yeah, back to the Nikishkin thing. What was interesting, I read an article off of The Athletic that said that he has higher potential than Seth Jarvis.
And here comes Foss. Oh. Nice shot, deflected, and that'll go out of play. And it'll be a break in the action. But Sam, what were you saying about Nikishkin?
So I saw an article on The Athletic. I think it was them kind of redrafting drafts and all. I think that's what it was. But apparently they had Nikishkin having a higher potential than Seth Jarvis, which I thought was a very interesting take.
Well, certainly the way he's playing in the KHL, which I believe is the second best hockey league in the world.
Yes.
He's doing so many record-breaking things, and he's only, in his early 20s? I mean, that's crazy.
And if you notice, a lot of the contracts Carolina has signed right now, especially with the 2-year deals, right? Burns has got 2. And so does Orlov. You can see a lot of these contracts are designed to come due when Nikishin's there, because Nikishin's going to replace, probably the goal will be to replace Burns once he's there.
So the warning take said 22 years old.
Yep. I was about to put that up there. Yeah, 22 years old. Still a very young guy, which is great. Unfortunately, we can't have him until the 2024-25 season.
I hope he comes over immediately, because I know the Hurricanes, there were rumors that they were trying to buy his contract from St. Petersburg. And that's just the rumor I heard, but he's definitely going to be thrown into the defensive unit. He's going to be in the top 4 pairing immediately.
Yeah, and you also have another prospect too, and maybe the warning take can have his own take on him, but Scott Morrow, who's a right-handed defenseman. From what I've heard is that he had a bit of a step back from last year's season, but I still think he's a guy that has very high potential for the Hurricanes.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you guys this, because Drury obviously is playing 4th-line center. If an injury happens, who do you bring up? Do you bring up Ponomarev or do you bring up Suzuki? Because Suzuki had a great rookie camp, and he had a great preseason.
I don't bring anybody up. I signed Eric Stahl. I signed him today. Jury's not.
Does that surprise you, AB?
Jury's not.
No, we've talked about that. So, but I would definitely give one of those guys a chance.
I think
It'd be nice to see Eric Stahl back, though.
I think you want to win a cup, and I think right now, given the fact you want to win a cup, you got to bring in. I think you bring in Eric Stahl, and then Drury's your extra. I mean, I just don't think Jack Drury's. I don't think he's the answer on the fourth line. I think we saw now that there is just clearly no center depth. I mean, did Drury play up when Aho went down? No, he did not. So I think that tells you everything you need to know about the belief in him. It might not be there. So I think right now, and he's not signed. Eric Stahl had a pretty good year last year and played well in the playoffs. I don't know why. I don't know why that hasn't been.
Definitely did his job. As Tampa Bay will send this back into the Carolina zone, Shea will get to it. And they are back out. Shea will get to it. Back to Orlov. Orlov will look for a pass up ahead. Back to Nason, and he'll send this in the offensive zone. Jarvis will get to it. Back to Kokoniemi. Fight up against the boards against Victor Hedman. Orlov back up. Bad pass there. Nason with a great play on the puck. And here comes Seth Jarvis, being pressed up against by Victor Hedman.
Oof.
Jarvis trying to move a little bit. It's kind of hard to do that against a defenseman like that. Orlov, a tip pass, and there was a big save there by Johansson. Seth Jarvis and Jesperi Kokoniemi have been having a very good year this year.
Yeah, they have. Also, going back to Scott Morrow, the warning take did give his take, and that is that he's a lot like D'Angelo, staying in college to get stronger and develop. So, yeah.
Very good stuff. Very good stuff.
I mean, Carolina's got two defensemen, and I think they're trying to time it to win that Orlov and Burns contract in. Because you can bring in Morrow, you bring in Nikishin, and then you got your two replacements there, and then Carolina can keep probably two of either.
Burns will get to it. There's a shot deflected by Aho, wrap around, and we're going to get a high stick.
I guess we'll see that here shortly.
So injuries and scratches. Svechnikov, he's skating. Brett Pesci's hurt. Don't know the extent of his injury. Dylan Coughlin was called up, and Antti Ranta is in the press box tonight. Is Freddie Anderson, like Sam Driscoll predicted, Freddie Anderson would be the backup tonight. So it's good to see him back.
Yes, I think that means Freddie goes tomorrow or Thursday. Sam will be in attendance at that game to see
So will I.
To see the Kraken. So they're a fun team to watch, though.
Yes, release the Kraken.
I have never been to a game when the Kraken have played, so I'm excited to see that one because I mean they got to a slow start, and of course they accelerated when they played us. But as Tampa will get it, Sergachev sends it, and that'll be brought back around by Perube. Fight up against the boards here. And Carolina will get it out of the zone, but they'll send this the length of the ice for an icing call.
Carolina's going to have to be careful on those changes. You don't want to be icing the puck against the Tampa team. That if they get
absolutely,
they're going to make
absolutely. So Svechnikov, as some people saw, first practice without a yellow contact jersey and gets hit in the chin with the puck. Luckily, it's not serious, but I thought that was a kind of thing that happened of like, oh God, he can't catch a break.
Yeah.
Check off with the save.
Yep. So here's what's interesting. The warning take also mentioned another prospect, Finn Soar. Apparently he's another person to keep an eye on as well. But apparently it could be a third pair guy, so that's interesting. So yeah, pretty good, pretty decent prospects in the pipeline. I think Nikishin's the prospect that really
yeah, that's the one that was definitely involved in the Timo Meyer trade, but as if I were the GM, I would not let anybody touch Nikishkin
Do you sign,
unless you give me Connor McDavid or something.
do you
Yeah.
resign D'Angelo at the end of this year?
It really all depends on how the defense plays out. Burns can play until he's like 50.
Yeah.
Pesci most likely will not re-sign here. I could be wrong. So that definitely does leave another right-handed defenseman spot because I think you re-sign Chatfield. You have Orlov.
Mhm.
Shea's also a free agent. So you definitely have options. I think you would definitely look at D'Angelo as an option, but also if you don't re-sign Shea, I'd definitely look at a left-handed defenseman as a defensive defenseman because definitely we need the balance of offensive defenseman and defensive defenseman.
So you see, I think we re-signed Shea, Chatfield, and D'Angelo, and I agree. I think Pesci's going to end up walking out. Just from what I'm seeing, it sounds like there's a pretty big gap between what Pesci wants and what the team is willing to do. I think I heard somewhere team wanted 5, Pesci wanted 7. So I don't know if they've bridged that gap, and I think they might be in agreement on term, but I think
D'Angelo back to Chatfield, tip out in front, saved. The only person I'm signing for over $7 million on defense is Jacob Slavin.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Because he deserves $9 million. I don't care what anybody says, but he is worth $9 million. Very underrated and such a good player. And I talked about this in the last live stream. Jacob Slavin changed his blade this year.
Yes, you did.
So maybe that's why he's trying to run for the Norris a little bit. Is it the stick? Is it the rumors going around?
I
But
think
he's definitely playing like a Norris defenseman right now.
I'd be the happiest guy in the world if Slavin wins the Norris.
Stall for Selke, too. He's been robbed so many times.
that's because you had Patrice Bergeron, and they were never going to not give it to Bergeron, which I think is inaccurate, but you know.
Cades have already said Nikishin is not for sale. Yeah, that's to be expected. I don't know why you wouldn't want to be like, hey, he's up for trade. Unless it's Connor McDavid, though. So
Yeah. Well,
that's the only
apparently,
reason.
yeah. Apparently, I remember when there were a lot of trade rumors of us getting Timo Meyer
Yep.
from San Jose. Apparently, I read another athletic article. I think the turning point of the Canes saying no was that San Jose wanted Nikishkin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which was
I can see that. And plus, Timo Meyer got a big extension this year. So I don't think the Hurricanes really they had the money to spend, but you're also giving up a prospect that can definitely become one of the top defensemen in the NHL with the way he's playing right now in Russia.
I think they would have considered moving Nikishin if they could have extended Meyer, and my guess is that just wasn't looking right for them, so they weren't willing to move him. So I think if they could have extended Meyer, maybe you have that conversation, but I don't think that was going to be the direction that they were going to go. So, you don't want to give up Nikishin for a pure rental.
Oh yeah, and Kokoniemi will get kicked out of the face-off circle. Nason will take the face-off against Sorelli. Nason, and they kick out another Tampa center. They'll bring back Braden Point. Oh, actually, they'll do both.
That should be a penalty.
So Jarvis and Braden Point now. Finally, the puck is dropped around the net. Former Hurricane Calvin DeHaan with the puck. Sends it back up the ice, and that will be sent in the zone. Jarvis was pressured there. Just wide of the net. And battle behind the net here as looks like Braden Point had the puck and now back out. There's a pass. waiting, and there's going to be a penalty against Carolina. And let's see
Oh,
who the
boy.
penalty is on. The Canes to the penalty kill.
That was
This is going to be the
halfway.
big test right here. Brent Burns to the box.
I think, again, I think you're looking at this call, and we just watched what the call is going to be. Where that I think that is a trip. I think you had something just as equally egregious happen earlier in the game on Tampa, and they didn't call it when Nason was tripped. So if we're going to have one of those games where it's going to be uneven, I think we're going to have a problem, but we'll see. This is
both of those calls you could definitely tell that they were callable, but obviously the referee was right there and saw the tripping call as Tampa will go on the power play. Hedman will get it back to Stamkos. Stamkos will circle. Hedman slap shot. That's saved by Kochetkov. Rebound. Back up to Hedman. Hedman to Stamkos. That's interrupted by Chatfield. Perhaps a 2-on-1 here. Kucherov gets back, however. Chatfield shot, and that goes over the top. So we're not going to jinx anything. We're not going to talk about the penalty kill right now, but looks
that play by Chatfield was really great. That's the kind of stuff you want to see. On that 2-on-1, I would have liked to have seen him maybe pass that back over to Martinook. I think that would have been a better opportunity than taking the shot.
Definitely. And this is a dangerous unit like we talked about. Kucherov, Point, Stamkos, Hedman, and Paul, as the face-off will take place in the Lightning zone, and Lightning will win it. Hedman will get to it, and then he'll send it back to Braden Point. Point, he'll try to enter the zone. Back to Paul. Point goes around the net. Stamkos tried to look for something here. Stamkos has it. Almost a loose puck there. Back to Point. Point bothered. Tried to look for Kucherov, but pass is just a little bit wide. Hedman now. That pass is deflected again by a Hurricane stick. Kucherov, that's back out. Braden Point now has it up on the right side of the boards, and he will try to look for somebody, but it goes back down to the Tampa zone, and we'll get a line change here.
Carolina being aggressive on the penalty kill, not giving Tampa Bay much room to breathe.
No, absolutely.
Yeah,
Tampa now will enter back the zone.
They're being a little bit more cautious with how they play on penalty kill, which I think is good.
Barry Poulet tried to look for a pass, but that will not go. Sergachev gets to it, and they will have to reset once again.
This is reminding me more of the penalty kill that Carolina is used to. Hopefully a sign of things to come.
Sergachev now looking. 10 seconds left on the power play. Sergachev, he's looking for a shot. No, he'll hold on to it. Tried to get in front of the net. Saved by Kochetkov with 1 second left on the power play, and it looks like the penalty kill is going to come up big.
That's what you need tonight. That's how you want to start the game. You want to get confidence. You want to build confidence in an area that's really not been – Carolina just hasn't been as confident. So this is a good test early. I would have liked to maybe seen Carolina stay out of the box first, but you'll take the penalty kill reps and helps build you confidence to move forward, and hopefully the PK can continue to play well tonight.
Aho just made a great defensive play. It just showed a replay on it. Orlov was covering, and Tampa tried to go cross ice, and Aho got a stick to it, and the penalty is killed. That'll go around the net. Kokoniemi will get to it, and he'll send it down to the boards. Tampa will get it back. So penalty killed.
So hopefully Carolina can use this as the warning tape commented. You know, it'll dictate momentum, right? The result. Carolina killed it. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to take this momentum, and hopefully Carolina can get on the board first before the end of the period.
Absolutely. Kokoniemi to Bunting. Natchez tried to get to it. And they'll get it back to Kokoniemi. Shot. Oh, that was pretty. Back to Kokoniemi. No, they'll get it back out. Chatfield to D'Angelo. D'Angelo, he'll look. Circle it back around to Natchez. Natchez with a nice move. Natchez, he'll try to go around net. He'll look back to D'Angelo, and a save by Johansson.
If only KK could have gotten a better handle on that, I think that's in the net.
Great offensive pressure so far right now.
Nature's has got some wheels on him. I think that's something you want to keep seeing happen.
No, absolutely. What do you guys think about Michael Bunting? Because the way he's playing, it looks like he was made for Rod Brindamore's system.
Oh, he was. Oh, definitely. I really like it because he kind of brings a little bit of a pest to the lineup. Even I think when Aho's back on the ice, him, Teravainen, and Bunting, I think that could be a very good line because I know lines are a little bit jumbled up right now. But Bunting, what's great about Bunting is that again the pest thing, but we haven't really had someone like him than I think Vincent Trocheck. And having someone like him, honestly, I'm really happy because he gets in the other team's face, and that's kind of I think what you need.
I also like Brendan Lemieux out there as well.
I'm not a big fan of Lemieux.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hot
Well,
take.
you met him.
I think.
I met him. I
Didn't say that to his face.
I'm not stupid. I ain't stupid. Also, he hadn't played yet. But I just I don't know.
We've lacked physicality. We need physicality. And Bunting a couple of times, he's kind of been like a Brad Marchand, like just saying comments and them just pushing back against him.
Look, I love Bunting. I think Michael Bunting is what this team missed, right? A guy who can provide offense but is a pest, and I think that's what you get with
So listen to this. 3 straight multi-point games, players age 30 plus in franchise history. Rod Brindamore, Ron Francis, Ray Whitney, and Stefan Nason.
Which is honestly a little shocked to see Stefan Nason up there, but yet not really at the same time because he has a nose for being around the net. He's really good with that.
Oh, yeah, 100%. We got somebody saying hello here. Hello to Chad.
What up, Chad?
All right, Carolina keeps it in their zone here, and now it'll be sent out. There's the speed. Here's the rush. Back to Jeannot. Back to 39. Saved. And Orloff will try to get it out. Jeannot will send it back to Morella, and it'll be broken up. Natchez now. He'll take it. He's waiting. Tried to make a move, but interrupted there by Morella.
that was almost really bad for Carolina. They really had the momentum there, and they gave Tampa Bay one of the better opportunities in this period.
Cirelli tries to get it out. Stamkos now is on the ice. Stamkos turn it back, pressured by Jordan Stahl.
I think we saw too in the sequence before, Natchez just tried to do a little too much, caused a turnover.
Yeah, Natchez needs to be careful with his puck handling. That's the biggest thing with him.
Yeah, he struggled with that a couple years ago, but has kind of kept it under control because it was a turnover bug for a while. And now there is a scrum for the puck right now. And Calvin DeHaan sends it back in. Kochetkov to it. Slavin will send it back out. And this will be another icing call. I'm so excited for Kochetkov's future. He, at such a young age, in the way he's playing, he's so poised, he's so calm, and he gives 110% no matter if he's down 3 or 4.
Yes, definitely. Honestly, what's interesting, his play style to me resembles a little bit of Peter Mrazek because he can be aggressive sometimes like Mrazek. And they both have great emotion. I think one of the probably the best moment I've seen of Kochetkov was when he was coming out for the 3 stars. And they originally
the interview.
Yeah.
That was great. I loved against Edmonton when he did that poke check.
We were there for that game, weren't we?
Yeah, I was there too on that breakaway as Kokoniemi will win the draw here. Slavin will try to push it out. And it'll go out. Stefan Nason looked like he brought it back out. And it'll go behind the net. Slavin looking for some options here. Back to Burns. Burns to Kokoniemi. That's interrupted. Tampa, they'll send it in now. Perube is out there as well with Sergachev. Kucherov and Point are out as well. Wondering if they'll maybe put Stamkos on that line. Burns now around the net, and he'll send it up to Kokoniemi. Kokoniemi's pressured. Not really getting a lot of help. Nason now to it. There's a tip out in front, and that just goes over the net there. Jarvis was right there, and Slavin now pressing, and Tampa will send it back into the Kane zone.
So with still talking about Kuchekov here, AB, here's a question for you. I would think with the contract situation for our goalies, do you think Kuchekov's going to be full-timer by next year?
They're going to let Raanta go. There's no need to put it off anymore. Raanta's such a good goaltender. He's done so much for the franchise, but you signed Freddie for 2 years for a reason, and you only signed Raanta for 1 year, so Kochekov's ready. I mean, and you have a guy like Freddie Anderson, an all-star, and when he's not injured, he's hot. He can be one of the best goalies in the NHL like we saw in the playoffs, so learn under him and, learn from the goalie coach more, and Kochekov definitely is going to be the starter of the future for the Hurricanes.
I expect it'll most likely. I think by the time Freddie's contract's up, you'll have Kochetkov and Yaniv Peretz will probably be your goaltending tandem in Carolina. I think that's their long-term plan.
Oh yeah.
And Peretz, I thought he looked decent in the preseason, a couple of preseason games.
I'm surprised that we actually got the opportunity to sign him because after winning the national championship, a lot of teams are definitely looking for something, but Carolina offered him and he was like, okay.
I think that with Skylar Brindamore probably didn't hurt Carolina's chances in bringing in Yaniv Peretz at all.
That's true. Chatfield will get to it now. He'll send it up the ice to Sebastian Aho. Aho will take it back. Nate has tried to get to it. Oh, there looks like a big hit from Stahl, pushing somebody over. And here is another penalty. And I believe it's going to go on Jordan Stahl.
Oh, boy.
Maybe an interference call.
Once we get to
high sticking
on Jordan.
I believe it's on Jordan Stahl.
I didn't see a high stick there. I mean, maybe
on Netchus, but
no, I think it is Natchez. Yep, there's the high stick. Yeah, that's blatant right there.
But I didn't see anything on Stahl.
Well, they zoomed in the camera on him, so I thought that maybe something was going to happen. But now we're on the penalty kill once again.
And Brendan Moore does not like it already.
No, not at all. Paul will take the face-off against Stahl, and Tampa will win it. It's quickly covered up by Kochetkov. So a minute and some change left in the first period.
You got to kill this period. You cannot allow Tampa Bay to get one here. That was a follow-through. I think that's fair. I don't like the call for that reason, but
I think it's callable considering the stick was above the shoulders. That's
call to Hedman and they score.
Oh boy.
Well,
Braden Point got out in front from the Hedman shot, and Tampa will take the 1-0 lead.
This was really what Carolina did not need after a really, really, really good period. I think Carolina's probably been the better team. It was
Kochetkov probably needed to have.
It looks like it was tipped on the way in.
It was tipped by Braden Point out in front.
So obviously that's when you want to have if you're Kochetkov. But if it was a tip, I'm not going to fault him on the goal.
Yeah, if it was a tip, I want to see this again. Yeah, it was tips. There was nothing he could have done.
Braden Point gets his first goal of the season off of Hedman's shot.
Which is surprising because Point's a very good player.
Absolutely. So less than a minute left here. The Canes have looked like the better team, but obviously another penalty cost them and a goal with a tip out in front.
I think this is just another example of just some bad luck Carolina is really facing right now. You've been the better team. You've really done well. And then again, it's a penalty kill that's not able to come up with it. And then I said, maybe you need to get a save from Kochetkov that maybe he shouldn't have. You might want to look back on this one like maybe Kochetkov could have tried. This is one maybe would have been nice for him to get. So you can go into this second intermission at least tied.
Orlov tried to snap a shot, deflected, and it'll go back to Tampa. Tampa will get ready to send it up with 1 second left, and that'll be the end of the first period. Carolina with 9 shots, Tampa with 12, and Braden Point with the lone goal as we are headed into the first period intermission.
Disappointing the way that period ended. I would have really liked to have seen that game, Carolina either, take the lead or keep it tied. So I'm hoping Carolina can put it behind them and go into the second, but I don't know if they're going to be able to move past it. They haven't been able to really this season, but we'll see. And I really hope Carolina can do that and they can come out and get an early one.
Yeah, I see at the end of that period, Slavin is talking with the ref there. He could have been talking with probably that last penalty where Tampa scored on that power play goal. So, but I mean, it's already 1-0. Can't really talk much about it after that.
Yeah, Canes have looked like the better team. Just that penalty killed them, and literally. So now they're trailing from behind once again. So. Second period, they got to stay out of the box. That's the only way that they're going to win this game because 5-on-5, they're one of the best teams in the NHL, but you cannot rely on Aho and Teravainen to score shorthanded goals the whole entire period.
Yeah, no, you gotta get some offense there 5-on-5 and try and draw a penalty. I mean, you want to do that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Any more? Let's see here. A couple of them. Well, I think we're going to take a short break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes and get ready.
Yes, definitely.
We're just getting started. right, we are back. So, Canes are down 1-0 with a goal on the power play from Braden Point. Sam, what do you want to see this period?
I want to see Carolina get going. I want to see them come out of the gate skating hard. I think we need to get a goal early because Tampa's got all the momentum, and we've seen what's happened with this team. Really, in this start to the season, Carolina's given up some goals at the end of a period, and I think that's just a concern. And we got to make sure that we continue to keep fighting in that regard.
No, absolutely. As we're getting ready to get started here with the second period, let's see who they'll roll out with in the first. Aho's out there. So I assume it's going to be Aho, Bunting, and Jarvis. Foss is out there with them.
So they were doing some line mix-ups then. I'm not
Sorelli and Aho getting ready for the face-off here. And oh, wow. Aho's not taking the face-off. It's actually Jordan Stahl.
So Stahl, Fost, and Aho. That's odd.
And there is the win there. Shea now will send it back down. Orloff's also out there with Brady Shea. Orloff with a mishandle of the puck. Shea recovers it.
On social media, Carolina skated at least 9 different defensive pairings in that first period. So that's something to keep an eye on. So now it's Orlov and Shea. So we'll see if that stays that way.
Kochetkov now behind the net. He'll try to get out a breakout pass to Sebastian Aho. Victor Hedman now will take it. Tampa will dump it into the zone. Orlov behind the net. Back to Sebastian Aho. He'll try to take this one off the glass. Collected by Sergachev. And sent back in. And we're going to get a offsides call here.
I love his passing ability. I think that's something that's really going to benefit Carolina as they continue to continue moving forward.
So penalties entering tonight. Montreal has 33, and Carolina is second to last with 32.
I don't like the company we're keeping in this list either. You got Montreal and Anaheim, 2 of the worst teams in the National Hockey League. Usually that's right. That's normally how that is, right? But Carolina shouldn't be in this regard. There's been some questions about Carolina and the officiating over the years. I'm sure you know that, AB. So, if you want to put your conspiracy theory hats on, feel free.
So now it'll be sent back into the zone. Burns will get to it. Actually, Kochetkov will send it out. Jacob Slavin, he'll wait. He'll start it up back to Burns. Burns will send it in to Tampa zone around the horn. Jarvis will get to it. Back to Slavin. Slavin with a shot, and that is stopped out in front. Jarvis with the follow-up saved. Let's see what we have comments-wise.
Looks like it's been pretty quiet for a little while.
Pretty quiet for a while. Well, let's ask him this: who's going to score the next goal?
You know what? I'm sticking with Tony, man. I'm sticking with Tony.
I'm going to go with Bunting.
But you know what? I'll take a goal from anybody. Let's get this game tied up quick.
Yeah, seriously. So we'll get a face-off in the left dot here, and Carolina loses the face-off. And it is sent out of the zone, collected by Shea. He'll dump it back into the zone. Sergachev to it. Back out. Perube. And Tampa. Braden Point's being pressured hard by Marty Natchez. That's collected. Oh, may have looked like a penalty there. They're not going to call it. And it'll be kept in now, swatted out. Natchez now will start the breakout. Teravainen, now Natchez coming down the right side. He's pressured hard by Tampa. Perube and Point. Sergachev gets to it. Tampa now going past their own line here. Braden Point will stop. He'll dump it back in. Sergachev around the net. Sergachev, he'll look. He'll dance. Back to Sorelli, it looks like, and a save. Connor Sheary actually with a shot and a save by Kochetkov.
Kachetkov's been very good tonight. You want to hope that he stays that way. having all of his confidence is one of the most important parts to his game.
All right, we got another face-off here. Braden Point against Jack Drury. And Carolina loses it, but they get to the puck. Lemieux pressuring against Radish. Send it back in the zone. Calvin DeHaan was being pressured. A little hit there. Chatfield back to D'Angelo. And D'Angelo will backhand this. Try to get it out of the zone, and it will. Little miscommunication there. Kochetkov behind the net will get to it and send it back out. So and there's a shot looking for the tip out in front from Sheary. Won't go. Struggling to get the puck out right now.
Chatfield and D'Angelo are out on the ice right now, so they're trying that pair and seeing how that goes.
D'Angelo deflecting it away from Kochetkov. Still in Carolina's zone. Now D'Angelo will settle it down.
Carolina needs to clear this puck.
Chatfield will send it, and it looks like it will go into the bench or out of play. 6th season as head coach for Brind'Amour, 229, 110, and 37. So with about a 65% win percentage. Pretty good if you ask me for a head coach.
Look, I have Rod has been one of the most successful head coaches probably in the National Hockey League during his tenure. Again, the only reason why I keep Laviolette ahead of Rod Brind'Amour is Laviolette won a Stanley Cup for Carolina. The moment Rod does that, he'll supplant it. So, love Rod, but until he gets us that prize, it's hard for me to supplant,
Oh, there's a scrum out in front. Kochetkov with a big save. Chernak now tries to go out. Burns will get to it. Aho will try to send it out. Still in Tampa zone. Sorelli gets to the puck now. Tried to look for Chernak, and they will get a breakout here. Tried to go for the high stick. Jesper Foss with the back pass. Stop. Hedman. Jesper Foss brings it back out to Orlov. Orlov with a nice move. He'll look. Broken up there by Victor Hedman. Back to Aho. That'll be back to Brady Shea. He'll send it. Looking for a tip out in front. Can't go. Aho will send it back to Stahl behind the net. Stahl back to Shea. Shea with a shot. Looking for a tip out in front. Can't get to it. And Tampa will get it out of their own zone.
That whole sequence at Tampa Bay started when it was a Carolina turnover in the neutral zone. You need to mitigate those if you're Carolina.
And Martinook just tried to take a rip blocker side, but it was stopped and went out of play. Kochetkov has been playing really well for Carolina.
Kochetkov's keeping Carolina in this game because that's probably a goal in most instances. Yeah, just an unbelievable save by Kochetkov. He's doing what you need to do. There's a save that I told you about, AB, right? That's one that maybe Kochetkov shouldn't get, and he got it. And that's just what you need that's what you need right now from your goalie because we're not playing the great defense.
Shea was getting a shot, and it looks like there's going to be a penalty on Tampa Bay, and the Canes are headed to the power play for the first time tonight.
Like it's going to be on Sergachev.
Hooking penalty on Sergachev, and this power play unit will start. Big opportunity here to get a goal. Looks like Bunting, D'Angelo, and Jarvis are out there. I assume Aho will be out there as well.
This is a moment for Carolina to really shine, show what they can do, and prove that their offense is still there. Carolina's offense has been clicking tonight. They've looked very good. They've had a few chances, so let's see what they can do on the power play.
Jarvis will be taking the face-off against Sorelli.
Jarvis has been very good in the face-off dot since he's done that a few times in the last couple games.
So Jarvis will lose the face-off, and Chernak will get it behind the net, and he'll send it down to the length of the ice. D'Angelo will collect it, and the power play will start. Marty Natchez now back to Aho. Natchez enters the zone, but there is going to be an offsides.
So far, a little bit of a sluggish start on the power play.
Zone entries have been a really big problem for Carolina on the power play.
It's been that way for a couple of years now, honestly. So that's something Carolina needs to work on.
So face off. So 8 for 30 this year on the power play, 10th in the NHL. Jarvis will take the face off once again, but he'll lose it. Johansson to it. Chernak will send it to the length of the ice, but collected by D'Angelo, so it doesn't go all the way down. And they will restart it. D'Angelo will do a back pass here to Marty Natchez. Back to Aho, and that's broken up. Zone entries here are becoming a very big problem with Carolina. Aho will send it in. And broken up again. Natchez will get to it. Natchez back to D'Angelo. D'Angelo to Aho. Aho to D'Angelo. D'Angelo looking back to Aho. Aho to D'Angelo. A shot on net. And it is blockered away. Natchez to it. Jarvis back out to D'Angelo. D'Angelo pressured. Back to Marty Natchez. Natchez back to Bunting. Bunting around the net. Back to Aho. He'll send it back up to D'Angelo. D'Angelo to Natchez. Look for that one-timer. Tried to look for a tip. Jarvis back out to Natchez. Natchez looking. Aho one-timer, and that's stopped by Johansson.
Johansson's having a very good game. Also keeping Tampa Bay up by 1.
With Carolina, when they're in the zone, they have so many good opportunities. It's just the zone entries are a problem.
And then I've noticed they've been struggling on faceoffs, like really struggling on faceoffs in the for the power plays, and I think that's been a big problem for them. And hopefully,
Burns and Orlov are out as the defensive pair with Kokoniemi, Nason, and Teravainen. Orlov will get to the puck, and he will start the power play. We need to get the power play going. Oh, Luke Glendening lost his stick. Carolina needs to keep it in the zone here, and they do. Nason around the net. Nason looks. Back to Bunting, to Kokoniemi. Lost it. Back to Burns. Burns. Back to Orlov. Orlov shot. That is blocked by Luke Glendening. Brent Burns. Power play is over. Teuvo Teravainen and intercepted there. And Carolina will go 0 for 1 on the power play.
Would have liked to have seen Burns take the shot there. When it came back, when they were trying to do the 1-1 pass, would have liked to have seen Burns take the shot.
Here's Teravainen. He'll enter the zone with a shot wide on Johansson. Hedman will get around. Perubier will look. Braden Point now. He'll enter the zone. Orlov with a nice hit there to get the puck away. Jordan Stahl now tried to get to it, but Hedman will get to it before he does. Kochetkov has the puck now. Orlov with a miscommunication there. Stamkos pressuring him. Stahl gets it out, and here comes a 1-on-0. Jesper Foss saved by Johansson. Back a rebound by Martinook. Won't go. Martinook behind the net to Stahl. Interrupted, and this is going to be out of the zone here as Stamkos is looking for a goal right here, pestered by Slavin.
Would have liked to have seen Jesper Foss get one there, but it was at an odd angle, and he was being pressured, so I'm not going to blame him on that one.
Sergachev now behind the net, looking to set it back up again. Tampa will look. They'll drop it into the Kane zone. Chernak lost the puck, and Carolina is going to get to it now. 2-on-3 opportunity here, and the pass does not go. D'Angelo now. He'll look, makes a move. And D'Angelo now is defending. Sheary was trying to get the pass there, but won't go there. Bunting will try to get to it. Johansson will beat him to it. Drury tried to look for Bunting, but it'll go around the horn. Bunting now, he's pestered. Jack Drury will get the puck back. Back to D'Angelo. D'Angelo waits. He'll give it to Drury. Drury, he'll go behind the net once again. And they will send it out of the zone here.
I think Carolina is also trying to be a little too cute with some of their passes. Put someone in front of the net, especially when you have this line on the ice with Jack Drury at center. Put someone in front of the ice. Let D'Angelo, whoever's at the back end, just take some shots. Try and get a deflection in on Johansson because he's dialed in.
Absolutely. Teravainen tried to look in right in front of the net. Won't go. Orlov now will get rid of the puck. Can Martinook beat it? He does. Martinook to Teravainen. And there's a little cluster there. And Martinook looking for Natchez. Natchez tried to get to it, but that's broken up, and that'll be sent back down in the Hurricane zone and right on Kochetkov, and he will pass it right to Chatfield. Back to Teravainen, now to Orlov. Orlov back to Natchez. Natchez with a shot. That's wide. And Dahan now try to get to the puck, loses it a little bit. Chatfield now will get to it. Chatfield will send a bank pass, and that'll be an icing.
Good opportunity from Marty Natchez in the slot. That needs to be on net, though.
Definitely. I think with that Jesper Foss shot as well, I think he should have made a move before he shot.
On his breakaway?
Yeah, on his breakaway.
I think he probably felt a little bit pressured on that breakaway just because he had another defenseman bearing down on him on his left. But I would have liked to have maybe seen I mean, he could have maybe brought that to the forehand, backhand, maybe be a little tricky, try and go between the pads. But he most likely felt pressured, and he's not a scorer.
Go around the net here. Natchez will get to it first, pressured by Nate, and there's a shot by Stahl. That's stopped.
Johansson.
He'll carry it now. Burns tried to go to Natchez, but that is blocked out in front. Sergachev now will get it to Paul. Slavin now on Brendan Hagel. Stahl tried to go to Aho. Miscommunication there, and Hedman will dump it back into the Kane zone. Aho now, he'll get to it. He'll pass it right to Stahl. Stahl will send it in.
I think Aho's looked very good tonight. Good to see. He hasn't missed a beat since getting hurt.
Jarvis now has it in the offensive zone. Kokoniemi behind the net. He's being shoved by Braden Point. Strum around the net here. 3 Hurricanes players to 3 Lightning players. And Hedman is pretty much bossing Jarvis around right now. And Tampa will get the puck out of their own zone. This could be an opportunity here. Braden Point on Kochetkov. It goes high. Point still has the puck. That's interrupted now. Kokoniemi, he's getting pestered by Kucherov. And Sergachev will collect it. That's intercepted now. Sergachev around the net, tried to get it out. He does. And Kokoniemi will head to the bench. Tony DeAngelo now, he'll send it to Jarvis. Jarvis, he'll go around the net. And back to Drury. Nason looked like he wanted it. D'Angelo pinched right here. And Jack Drury will reset. Carolina now. Drury tried to send it in. He did. Sergachev has it. Berube. He's pinned up against the boards by Drury. Bunting tried to get to it. Lemieux now has it. Lemieux back to Bunting. Bunting pass to D'Angelo. D'Angelo shot, hits off a skate, and Chatfield gets to it.
I think D'Angelo's looked really good in this game, and I think that's something he needs.
Absolutely. And Chatfield tried to get a shot there, and there seems to be some pushing and shoving with Bunting and a Tampa player, but we're going to take a short break. And we will be right back. So, Sam, it also looks like we have some other games going on. What's going on with the scores around the league?
Yeah, we do. Let's see. Toronto Maple Leafs 4 versus the Washington Capitals 1, third period. That's an interesting game. I don't think Washington's good. New Jersey Devils 1, Montreal 1. That's a tight game. That one's interesting. So we'll see what happens there. Buffalo Sabres 4, Ottawa Senators 1. Good for Buffalo there. I do not like Ottawa. Dallas 0, Pittsburgh 1. Into the first. Pittsburgh having a good game. Looks like 0-0 against another Florida team tonight. So
I have Blackwood in net for me in my fantasy team. So
there you go. That's going to be good. Blackwood's been pretty good. Colorado 1, New York Islanders 0. No surprise there. 1-goal game. Sorokin, one of the best goalies in the National Hockey League. And then Buffalo Sabres again 5, Ottawa 1 into the second.
So now when play resumes, as Kochetkov will cover the puck up, and we will get a draw here in our own zone.
Yep, Carolina.
I just noticed this on Bally Sports. So on Bally Sports, they have the players on the top, and their Sebastian Aho one is of the defenseman Sebastian Aho.
Good Lord. I
gotta take a picture of this.
I'm gonna plug
they changed it. They changed it right before I had to take a picture.
I have to say I'm gonna plug you a little bit, AB, because on your podcast you're getting Mike Maniscalco. So you gotta pick it with him when you see him, when you talk to him, man.
Yeah, I gotta mention that and see what he has to say about that. The warning take looks like they just said something to us.
Chatfield and TDA interchange frequently and quickly, hard to prevent them from exiting D zone. I think that's fair. I do like that pair, though. I think they're both fast, and I think what you're getting with D'Angelo and Chatfield. And again, I'm being honest with you. I really am liking D'Angelo tonight. I think he's playing well defensively. I think he's playing well offensively. He's creating opportunities. Again, I think Carolina's looked very good offensively. Defensively, I still think is a problem, but you've got Kochetkov, who's dialed in today.
I'll tell you who else looks pretty good so far is Dmitry Orlov. He's not really making as many mistakes as he has been, as that'll be a shot deflected wide. Braden Point now will send it up ice and off sides. Orlov's looked a lot better. D'Angelo, again, I don't know if it's the birthday. He looked great on the power play. He looked great. He looks great right now. And Orlov he's made a couple of mistakes, but none that have cost Carolina. But so far, he's played very well, especially offensively and defensively.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to love it. I think it's something that you need to ensure that you brought him in for a purpose, right? And that's to score and help the power play. But you can't neglect his defensive responsibilities. And I'm hoping this game he can build on it and keep playing that way.
Oh, absolutely. As Burns will try to get this to Slavin, little miscommunication there, and that will exit the zone. Looks like Bally Sports is there. We go. They weren't having any audio. Aho now will get to a D'Angelo shot. That is just high. Fight behind the net. Lemieux is pushing against one of the Tampa defensemen. Love to see the physicality. Chatfield's trying to get it out and intercepted there by Sebastian Aho. And that will go back into Tampa zone. Perube now will send it to Sergachev, interrupted there by Jesper Fast. But Tampa will manage to hold the puck in their own zone. Sheary tried to look for Cirelli. He went for a line change.
I think as long as you have Lemieux in the lineup, you want to see his physicality.
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the reasons why you signed him.
Yep.
They got bullied in that Florida series, as D'Angelo will send this puck out and quickly rebounded back to D'Angelo. Jarvis now will take it past the red line, and he dodges a few hits here. Cornered. Bunting trying to help him out. It'll get back to Tampa, and it'll be sent back down. Shea off the boards. trying to look for a Canes forward there. Couldn't get it to go. Tampa will send it back out. Nick Paul shoves Orlov to the ice. Orlov loses his stick, gets it back, and he will send it back across the boards. Tampa with possession.
I want to see Carolina get on the board before the end of this period, and they're running out of time to do so.
Only 3 minutes left in the period now. Stamkos with the net front presence. No opportunity there to get a tip out in front, as this will go to Stefan Nason. Kokoniemi tried to look for a pass, pressured by Eric Chernak, and that will be sent back down for an icing call.
That hit on Orlov, he was literally thrown to the ice like a rag doll. Hate to see something like that. Orlov, we brought him in also to be a little on the tough side, so don't want to see him getting ragdolled like that. I'm stepping away for a hot second to make sure I plug my computer in so we don't.
Your score you have posted shows. Well, I don't think that you are correct. Let me fix this now. There you go, Matt. You happy? As Carolina gets it now. And intercepted there by Brendan Hagel. And that's sent back into Tampa zone. Natchez will get to it. Trying to find a teammate here. Nobody around. Hedman. Look, cluster out in front. Natchez tried to get the stick lift there. Couldn't get to it in time. Teravainen now. Pressure. Natchez. Just a cluster right now. Teravainen gets it back into the Tampa zone. Martinook now. Hills try to shoot it. Don't know why he shot it. I would assume you try to go for the pass here. Kucherov now. He'll pass it off. Back to number 12 for Tampa. Wraparound. Took the extra pass. Shot. They scores.
Carolina just, again, the exact opposite of what they really needed to have happen here tonight. The offense, see, not only is the defense having some problems, now you've got the offense is starting to look like it's dried up.
Looks like Radish here with the goal. What did you see here on this goal from Tampa?
Really good passing. Carolina looked completely out of it right now, and they made him pay. I don't blame Kochetkov. It looked like he was screened out in front. It looks like it's another tip.
It almost looked like a tip out in front. We'll see, though.
The way the Tampa Bay player celebrated it definitely looks like this was tipped. And you had a player that was in the crease. It didn't work out so well. No, number 12, he pointed up to the front. Let's see, Carolina, he comes in around. Martinook gets turned around.
Carolina now try to get another shot. Jesper Foss with a swing and a miss. Carolina trying to get the pressure on as they are down 2-0 here with less than 2 minutes left in the period. Sebastian Aho behind the net. Aho looking for a teammate here to Chatfield. Chatfield, shoot it, Chatfield. Shot out in front. Stahl tried to get to it, but sent back out by Tampa.
Jesper Foss.
And there will be icing call.
Foss
some shoving from Chatfield, and it looks like Janot. Sorelli trying to get in on the action now. D'Angelo keeping peace. That's not like him usually.
He knows to keep his nose clean sometimes. Not sure why the Tampa player has an attitude problem right here, but I wouldn't recommend standing up. Look, Tampa. George Stahl's already shown you who your daddy is. Don't.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he's a stallion, 6'4", has to be over 230 pounds.
I mean, you remember it was Tampa Bay. A guy was out in front, just cross-checking George Stahl. Shoot. George Stahl tips it in, just looks down at him like, what are you doing, kid? Like, that's not smart.
Kokoniemi and Sorelli on the face-off draw here. Carolina trying to move up front so they can get something to go. Jarvis now, he'll shoot it behind the net, and Carolina will go to work. Orlov shot, looked for the tip out in front, couldn't find anybody. Kokaniemi now behind the net, shot, ricocheted. Nason tried to get to it. Scrum out in front and saved by Johansson. Kokaniemi and Chernak are going at it. Looks like they were trying to drop the gloves. Some pushing and shoving going on in front of the net.
I am 100% okay if KK does not fight. Just probably not the best thing. Carolina, they're pushing. They know they can't go into this third period down by 2.
So we got a minute and 10 left in the second period. Looks like Kokaniemi and Eric Chernak are headed to the box, probably both for roughing.
Most likely. I love the fiery, the spirit. KK has just had an outstanding start to the season.
Absolutely.
And that right there is proof. Like I don't want to see him in a fight because I don't want him out for 5 minutes, but I certainly don't want him to, he shouldn't let you push him around.
Mm-hmm. He's definitely evolved his game because when he first came to Carolina, he didn't look like a guy that was drafted 3rd overall, but he's definitely grown into the player he's now, and it's only up from here. He looks solid. He keeps playing really well, and, let's just hope it continues. Caniat Report said there might be something going on in the locker room. I kind of have that vibe right now.
Yeah, if you listen to our last episode, I kind of talked about what the vibe is in Carolina's locker room right now or what's going on. I don't know if there's a true problem there. I think it's a possibility, right? I mean, I think you have to take that into account. This is very un-Carolina Hurricanes hockey to play, and the argument stemmed from you might have some defensemen like Orlov, Chatfield, D'Angelo. Those are the 3 guys that are fighting for a spot on the roster. And maybe right now that's caused some bad blood. Again, this is all speculation. I have no knowledge of this at all. So don't tweet at us saying we're wrong, because we might be. I don't know. This is speculation. That might be why you have some of these players. Maybe they're gripping the stick a little too hard, and that's why things just aren't going their way, and why you're seeing those particular players getting abused a little bit more on the ice than maybe some other ones. And I think it could still be a problem down the road, right? I mean, you have 3 defensemen. It's not good for D'Angelo to sit for an extended period of time, and it's not good for Chatfield to sit for an extended period of time.
No, I 100% agree. I think it's also you're looking now to the roster spots are starting to get smaller because as Svechnikov's getting closer, you're kind of looking back, especially the forwards like Lemieux and Drury. I mean, they can easily be replaced because Svechnikov's immediately going to go into the lineup.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Lemieux's out though. The moment Svech is ready, Lemieux's your bench warmer, so he won't play unless there's an issue like we have here with the injuries.
No, absolutely. It's just also we have been very spoiled the past couple years, starting off hot, and now it's a different story. Defense isn't figuring it out right now. Kokaniemi and Eric Chernak are in the box. I think it's going to be 2 minutes each for roughing, so we're going to have 4-on-4 hockey for 2 minutes.
Hey, 4-on-4 can be fun. I'm not opposed to some 4-on-4 hockey.
I don't know why they have Jarvis out there with Aho. It should be Teravainen. Shea and Orloff out there as a pair. Aho is pestering Brendan Hagel. Perube now makes a move. Back out. Aho. Oh, no, that's Shea. Shea pushed down. Looking for a penalty there. No penalty. Oh, everybody's falling all over the ice. Hedman takes a spill there. Aho now will go back to the bench. It looks like Natchez will be out there. So now it is Burns and Orloff, Natchez and Teravainen. Tried to look for Natchez again, Teravainen, but just a little too hot on the pass.
100% should have been a penalty there committed against Brady Shea.
Natchez gets it back. Natchez looks around, tries to find somebody, pestered by Sergachev, back to Brett Burns, and we are going to see the end of the second period. Shots on goal, 19. Carolina, 17. Tampa. And Tampa has the 2 goals as we are heading into the final stretch. Is next period, maybe the last, with a 2-0 lead from Tampa.
Yep, you need to play a little bit better in the third. Offense needs to show up. I think they can. If Tampa comes into the second period thinking they have it sewn up, they're going to be sorely mistaken. Carolina can make you pay, and they can make you pay fast.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to take a short break. We'll be back before the start of the third period. Stay tuned. All right, we are back. Getting ready to start the third period.
Yes.
Sam, what are you looking for?
You got to get so I think in order for the Hurricanes to kind of maybe a little bit get back into this, I mean, we've seen them put on performances before the season in the third period, but I just think if they can just get one goal past Johansson, I think we'll make it a game. I just think it's that one goal for the Hurricanes that can really help bring some momentum to them.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we're definitely missing some key opportunities here because we just don't look good responding. I don't know why. I don't know why it is, but we're just kind of floundering right now, and hopefully that can change at the start of the third.
Yeah, that's why I'm hoping too in this third period. The biggest thing is in order to win, I strongly believe you got to take it one step at a time, and I think that one step is trying to get a goal on Johansson. Yeah, I think both goalies have looked pretty good, honestly, this game.
Kochetkov has been standing on his head. It's just
He has.
The past two goals. One of them was a tip out in front. He couldn't really do, and definitely a defensive collapse caused that last goal to happen. So hopefully, Carolina has some fire coming out of the locker room, and they can tie this game and eventually win this game because still a lot of hockey left, but
yes,
definitely need to make something happen.
Yes, definitely. One thing that I've noticed actually, because I'm when watching the Bali Sports feed, is I've noticed that they're now putting the miles per hour shots right below next to the score, which I find is a little bit interesting. It just shows how hard the hit or the shots are. I'm like, that's a cool, interesting stat to put out there.
Yeah, I think the fastest shot on our team, besides Brent Burns, obviously has the hardest shot. Nate what I've seen is he's been hitting 94 miles an hour on some of his one-timers.
Yes, exactly. And I think you need to have him on a one-timer probably on the power play. Biggest thing, he's got have good control of the puck. And another thing on one-timers too, I just want to say on the power play in general, is you got to get the pucks off quickly when you shoot them. Because if you wait like half a second or a second later, the goalie's going to be right over in your position. So you got to be quick.
So a quick stat here, Sebastian Aho has had 2 shots on goal, and he's only played 13 minutes. And Kokaniemi and Chernak are still in the box for roughing, so we will continue to have 4-on-4 hockey.
Yes. Honestly, I don't know who benefits. I don't think both teams are happy with both of those players being out. Chernak's a very vital defenseman for Tampa. And, of course, KK, he's a vital centerman for us because he's been very good. And as we've talked before, our center core isn't probably the best compared to other NHL teams.
No, you have Stahl and Aho as your guys for face-offs. As we are started here in the third period, Brent Burns will send this down. Stahl tries to get to it. Seth Jarvis out there with Stahl. Stahl looking for a pass. Tip out in front. Stop by Johansson. And broken up by Perube.
Pretty. I'm about to see the chance here that they're going to have. The biggest thing for Carolina, they got to keep pressing. Sorry, I'm an AB. Sorry. But what's your key to this third period, AB?
Pucks on net.
Yeah,
we've definitely not had a lot of shot opportunities that have been high quality, and I think having Bunting or Stahl or Nason in front of the net can really cause a lot of traffic out in front and make Johansson uncomfortable as Orlov will try to look for Aho. Kokaniemi now back to Aho on the boards. And there's a shot by Shea, but that is stopped. Kucherov now will send it back. And Shea around the net to point. Kucherov with the shot saved by Kochetkov. Uh-oh. It looks like somebody is hurt.
Uh-oh. Well, I'm about to see it here.
Mike Maniscalco said it looked like somebody was hurting after a shot.
Oh, yeah.
They're trying to get the penalty. Braden Point now right in front of the net. Out in front. Aho now will send it down, and we are back to 5-on-5 hockey.
I think that was KK who got a little bit stunned there.
You
Oh,
can't afford any more injuries.
Yeah, you cannot. Not a good turnover from Shea there.
There's the icing, and it'll be a face-off in the Tampa Bay zone.
So we've mentioned before players like Svetch and maybe a little bit of Anderson being out. What would you want your lines to be like, AB? Because I know they're kind of in blender mode right now with the injuries. What would you want, like, maybe your first line to be?
First line, I definitely like to see Bunting, Aho, and Natchez, as there's a shot right in front, interrupted now. And Tampa will try to look for a feed there to Stamkos. I definitely would like to see Bunting, Aho, and Natchez. Eventually, when Svechnikov gets back to 100%, I'd like to see Svechnikov, Aho, and Natchez on a line. I say keep the first defensive pairing the same, Slavin and Burns, but
yeah,
Bunting, the way he's been playing, you also have Aho, and they've been playing on a line together. And then just add Martin Natchez, and you really have a left winger, you have a left-handed center, and you have a right-handed right winger.
Yeah.
So I think that's really all you need right now.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I also could see Teravainen playing on the right wing with Aho and Bunting. I could see that because I think no matter what, you need to have Aho and Bunting together because you need Bunting with some physicality on that line.
No, absolutely. And now Tampa had a scoring chance there, and Burns got to it, and Bunting will send it back out. Drury now in the offensive zone. Jesper Foss behind the net, looks for Bunting. Bunting will send it back around. Tried to find Orlov there, but he wasn't there quite yet. Now Shea will get to it. He'll dump it back into Tampa zone. Blockered away by Johansson, and Tampa will reset. Oh, and there's a tip play there. Stahl with a shot saved by Johansson. They'll send it back around here. Orlov tried to pinch. Won't go, and that'll be sent back out. Jarvis with the puck. He's pestered. That's back out. Stahl now is in the offensive zone. He's being pushed around a little bit. Ooh. Manages to get to it. Orlov now at the top of the key with a shot. Doesn't get through. And Orlov with the intercept there, and they will reset once again. Jarvis passed it back to Orlov. Orlov now, he'll look. A little miscommunication there. Aho and Stahl on a line together right now.
That's an interesting line. It's really interesting.
We'll have something to watch. Aho now backhands it. Looks. Aho tried to go in front to Stahl. He was tied up. And Kucherov will send it back up the ice to Point, but that is stopped. And here is another offsides. Looks like Slavin and D'Angelo are on the ice together.
Yeah, I know
he's coming back on right now. Tripp just said it really right on the head. A lethargic start defensively.
Yeah. You definitely need to be better defensively. I mean, it's been a frustrating game because obviously you're kind of because even though lethargically they haven't been doing good at the start of this period, I mean, So far, you've limited Tampa to only 2 goals. I consider that as a minor success from the past games that they've allowed, but now they kind of need to deal with the fact of scoring, getting one behind Johansson.
So now they'll enter the zone. Martinook now, and then a pass to Slavin. Slavin with a shot, one time stopped. Nason tried to follow it up, and Tampa will get it out of their own end. Slavin now, great hands right there. Tried to backhand it to Martinook, but hits off a Tampa skate. Stamkos now with the puck. Offsides, trying to wait for it. Okay, they touch back. Slavin, he'll give it off to Natchez. Natchez was getting pestered there a little bit more, and Bunting now has it. He'll send it to Slavin around ice, interrupted by Tampa, and Parube will send this one back in. And here's another shot. Kucherov with a shot saved by Kochetkov. May have looked like it went high. Is Braden Point now? He's on the left side. Point tried to look for Chernak, it looked like, but missed the target.
Ooh, yeah. Just saw that.
Here comes Kucherov. Wraparound stopped by Kochetkov. And Orlov with a great poke towards the end there. And another quick little turnover almost, and that'll be sent back in. Jack Drury will bring it around the net. Orlov now has it. He'll chip it. That's broken up by Tampa. Orlov gets it back. Jesper Foss trying to put it in the zone. Tampa now on their horse. Back to Connor Sheary. Little bit pushed down a little bit. Looking for a call. Glendening. And there is going to be a penalty called. And Lemieux and Isamov look like they're getting ready to be in a fight. Just a little shoving match. D'Angelo also in there. Looks like Carolina is going on the penalty kill for the third time tonight.
Yeah, that is not good. You've got to learn to stay out of the box.
I sure hope so. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back here in about a minute and 30 seconds. All right, we are back. Brendan Lemieux is headed to the box for a tripping call, and Tampa's deadly unit with Paul Point, Stamkos, Chernak, and Sergachev will go on the power play. Need a kill right here, Sam.
Yes, you definitely need a kill. You cannot. To me, if Tampa scores 3 goals, I don't think Carolina is going to come back from that.
Well, let's see. This will pretty much almost decide the game, as Slavin loses his footing there, and he'll send it out. And Johansson behind the net, and Hedman will restart. That is sent back to Braden Point. Point now Drop it back off to Kucherov. Back to Paul. Paul, Kucherov. Back to Hedman. Hedman loses it. Stahl now has it. Perhaps a 1-on-0. Hedman. Martinook shot. That's saved by Johansson. And we're going to have a 3-on-4 here now. Martinook. Oh, and it's going to be a call on Tampa.
Oh,
So
wow.
we get the penalty kill. Nikita Kucherov headed to the box.
Well, that's good.
Interference call on Kucherov. You have to score here.
Yep. That's really good for Carolina. They don't need to kill off the whole 2 minutes, just 44 seconds if my math is correct. Although I've never been good at math in the first place.
I don't think some people are, some people aren't. I'm not one of those people that is good at math. So we're going to get a face-off here in the let's look at the penalty. Kucherov almost looked like he tripped Burns there. Now it is back in Tampa zone. Jarvis pressuring Sergachev. So Jarvis and D'Angelo are the ones I see out there along with Slavin and Aho. Jarvis now, he's pestering Sergachev. Sergachev looking. He'll put this around the boards. Aho will get to it now. Aho, he'll send this one out to Tony D'Angelo. D'Angelo back to Aho. Aho trying to find a lane. Can't. Gets it behind the net. Gets it back out. D'Angelo will get to it. Back to Slavin. Slavin now. Back to D'Angelo. D'Angelo waits. Oh, another quick move there by D'Angelo. D'Angelo back to Jarvis. Jarvis, he'll wait. He'll put it back to Aho. Aho looking for something. Back to Jarvis. D'Angelo tried to go around the net. Didn't work. Slavin back. Jarvis. Aho. Jarvis. One-timer missed. And they'll send it back down. Slavin got to it. Aho back to Jarvis. Jarvis back to Aho. He's knocked down, pressured. Aho keeps it in the zone. D'Angelo. Johansson gets to it, though. And it looks like they are getting ready to get it out of the zone. Pretty good attack there from Carolina. And 38 seconds on the power play now as Hedman will get the shot saved.
Yeah, wow, that was a pretty good chance there for Carolina to score, but they just couldn't. Tampa's, I'll give them credits due. Tampa's been doing pretty good defending, I think, especially in the high danger area of their own goalie.
And here's going to be the final push as Nason will get to it. Interrupted. Burns back to Kokoniemi. Find Orlov right there. No. Back to Burns. Burns shoot it. Shot stopped. It may have looked like it was sent back. Burns now sends it back in. He's trying to look for somebody. Teravine and Kucherov getting to it. Back pass. Tried to look for Braden Point. Didn't get it. Goes back in Tampa zone. Chernak. Cross-ice pass to Point. Point now off the boards. Kucherov now back with it. That's intercepted there by Michael Bunting. And here comes Marty Necas. Necas back to Jordan Stahl. Stahl tries to make a move. Just three defensemen collapsing there with only one person there, and it's you can't play like this right now. As Bunting and Necas run into each other, it could have been a 3-on-2, but it won't go. Bunting now still being pressured. Necas now will collect the puck. He will go up. He will pass it back to Tony D'Angelo. D'Angelo will jump up from his defensive position, circle around, back to Stahl, back to Chatfield, back to Necas. Necas holds shot. Went out in front. D'Angelo tried to get the shot, and it was blocked out in front. D'Angelo almost had his goal on his birthday.
Oh, that would have made Sam very happy if he had a chance. Oh, my gosh.
It would have made me happy, too. It would have made all Canes fans happy because with the one-goal game here.
Yes, it would.
Now D'Angelo will get back to it. Sends it to Natchez. Natchez gets it back to D'Angelo. D'Angelo will reset. Backhands this one off the boards to Martinook. Martinook will send this one in. Jesper Foss gets to it. Oh, and there is a penalty. Jesper Foss got pushed into the boards, lost his footing, and Calvin DeHaan is headed to the box.
Hey, former Hurricane.
Former Hurricane. Well, Canes had some opportunities. We're getting ready to go to a break in the action, so we'll see what happens here shortly. D'Angelo whiffed on it. He almost put it in the net. From a second look, he whiffed on it.
Yeah, that was just so close.
Oh, we got some new comments now. Let's see here. Let's see. I think we got some comments.
Yes, we do. Andrew, I can't pronounce that last name, but Andrew says, "How's the game so far?" Well, from a Hurricanes perspective,
Terrible.
Yeah, not that good. Tampa's playing a very good defensive game. They're really helping their goalie a lot.
They're only 2-2-2. I would think they'd be better, a better record compared to what they have, what they are right now. Because when Tampa's hot, they're one of the best teams in the NHL. But definitely not having Vasilevsky is a downside. But with Johansson and net, it looks like they don't need him right now.
Not for this game. Nope. Tampa's doing a good job of really helping their goalie out.
So we got around 13-ish minutes. Got to get 2 goals. It's possible. If you get a power play goal here, that'll really shift the momentum and us not playing on our heels. So now Calvin DeHaan in the box. And that looked like a boarding call right there. And we will see the power play unit on. Aho, Bunting, Natchez, Jarvis, and D'Angelo. And D'Angelo will get to it. D'Angelo waits. He'll give it back to Aho. Aho across back to Bunting. Bunting having some trouble, and he'll send it back. Tried to look for Aho, and Kochetkov will get to it. D'Angelo now, he will reset. D'Angelo will hand it off to Marty Natchez. Natchez with a nice spin move there. Back to Bunting. Bunting, he'll look. Back to D'Angelo. D'Angelo back to Aho. Aho to D'Angelo. Natchez is ready for that one-timer. Looks like Jarvis right out in front. Jam. Natchez shot. Pass. Oh, just off the mark there, and D'Angelo keeps it in. Seth Jarvis. You have Marty Natchez with a one-timer. Tip out in front. Bunting just wide. And they will send it back out, and we're going to get a line change here for the power play. 7 minutes left in the game. I thought it was 13.
Oh, my gosh. Bunting had such a good chance.
So now they will re-enter the zone here as Brent Burns looks for a pass. Couldn't get it. Bunting now, he'll pass it back to Burns. Burns back to Orlov. Orlov, he'll regather, back out, back to Orlov. Orlov really being pressured here on the power play. Orlov now has it. Orlov shot. Try to get a tip out in front from Bunting, and it will be sent out again. Forward should change right here. And we have Orlov. Kokaniemi out there now. Nason trying to get to it, and that is stopped and sent back down the ice. And 15 seconds left on the power play. This will be your last push here. Orlov back to Nason. He'll send it to Teravainen. Teravainen shot saved by Johansson.
Power play didn't look bad there, but you needed a goal. Probably.
We had a first look at Natchez trying to find one and just wide. And then we also had the bunting tip hit his skate, however. He was there in the right spot. Could have been a goal if he just found the tape-to-tape pass. Kokaniemi will take the face off
Oh man, that was so close. Whew.
against Anthony Cirelli. Kokaniemi wins it. Burns waits, shot, stopped. Kokaniemi tries to get to it, and the penalty's killed. Kokaniemi back to Burns, and it will be sent back out, and Tampa will go for a line change, and Carolina will do the same. 6 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the game. Tampa up 2-0. Martinook will get to it, back to Jordan Stahl. Stahl tries to look for somebody. Fight around the net. Jesper Fost. Martinook. Fost gets a hold to it. Back to Slavin. He'll send it around the horn. Martinook will get to it. Gets it back to Brady Shea. Brady Shea shot out in front. Tried to look for a tip. Didn't go. Jacob Slavin now look for another tip. Martinook missed it. Slavin now gets it back. He'll send it around the net to Martinook. Martinook looking for another pass out in front. Can't get to it. Stopped again by Slavin. Slavin with another, trying to look for another tip, but it goes high and saved by Johansson.
Man, I mean, Carolina, they're putting lots of pressure, but time's not on their side. What's one? Do you think there's a positive to take out of this game? Maybe.
Wow. You got to really make me think. Positive, definitely. Orlov has played a lot better. I will say Orlov and D'Angelo have played a lot better. I really think that this team just needs to get in front of the home crowd. They've been away from home, had to do with the time change, the climate, et cetera, et cetera. I think just being back here Thursday and having the Caniacs loud, I think that'll give them a boost. And, I think that's what they need. They're playing well. It's just they're not getting the opportunities to score. Now, last year, we would look at the shots on goal compared to this year, and we would shoot like 40 times and only score like 3 times or 2 times. But now it's different. We're looking for high-quality chances, and, we're looking for tips out in front. We saw that on the power play. But I really think the guys just need to come back and try to win this game. And if not, practice hard, reset, and get ready for a 2-game homestand.
Yes, and hopefully with that homestand, you'll probably get a huge player coming back either Thursday or Friday's game. I hope it's Thursday. And
yeah, I'll be there, so I hope so too.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see what happens. So Carolina has won their first 2 games, lost against the Ducks, won against the Sharks, and have dropped their last 2.
And
they have been to Canada, Los Angeles, to Anaheim, Colorado, Tampa, and then who else did they play? Seattle. They've been all over the place, and it's the State Fair road trip, and the State Fair has ended.
That's why I don't like the State Fair.
Yeah. But Jordan Stahl win the face-off here. Jacob Slavin looks for a tip out in front. Burns dropped in from his defensive spot down to the right wing. Burns with a nice move. Tried to look for Stahl out in front. Stahl whacking out in front and looking. Aho back to Slavin. Slavin shot. That is blocked by a Tampa forward. That's Anthony Cirelli. Aho now will get to it behind his own net. Bounce pass back to Burns. Aho now. Let's see if he can work his magic. Interrupted there. And we have almost less than 5 minutes remaining in the period. Brady Shea now. He'll work around. Slavin, he tries to send it, but that won't work. Barry Poulet now with the puck. He'll pass it out. Kucherov now on the right wing. Back to Point. Point out in front. Tried to get a tip. Saved by Kochetkov. And Now they will reset once again. Slavin back to Shea. And here come the Lightning. They'll send it back into the Carolina zone. Tony DeAngelo back to Brady Shea. Bunting now. Back to Teravainen. Back to Shea. Back to Teravainen. Need to move the puck past the red line. And they will. And Tampa is already to it here. Calvin DeHaan. And Carolina will get it out. Bunting to Natchez. Natchez with a heavy hit. Natchez with a little slash at the end. Don't know if the refs picked that up.
Gotta be responsible with your stick regardless.
You can definitely see they're not playing with Brady Shea. I mean, Brett Pesce.
Yeah. One thing too about this game, and I think part of the reason why Carolina's down 2-0, even though they've been dominant, I still think a lot of these shots, they need to get better quality shots. In my opinion, they're just, I think, a little bit aiming for more of the quantity than the quality. They're pushing, they really are, but they really need to. Really, I think, get better chances.
Warning take with a nice comment there. I think we all really want to at this point. And there's a shot and another goal by Tampa Bay. And there's some pushing and shoving afterwards.
Uh-oh.
Here's some fighting going on. Stamkos, Burns now getting into the mix of it. DeAngelo on the bottom of the pile. Aho trying to break it up. Same with Burns. Curious to see what happened. It looked like Nick Paul had the goal from the left wing spot. And DeAngelo is still going at it with Nick Paul. And Aho's got his helmet off too. We may get a couple of penalties here.
Dang, yeah. Big scrum.
Now I think frustration is showing right now. But let's take a look real quick. Hagel passed it back to Paul, and there was the goal. And
where's our dealer?
Was it Paul? It may have not been Paul. It was Nick Paul. Let's see what happened after the play. I'm not sure what transpired to do the pushing and shoving.
You probably maybe wish Kochetkov could save that, but at the same time, he's kind of all alone in front of Kochetkov. So
the only plus side to that is Brendan Hagel assisted, and he's on my fantasy team. So
there you go. And I think I have Victor Hedman on my fantasy team. So
Orlov with a misconduct. So Orlov is getting the misconduct. Was it 7 or 77? I couldn't hear very well.
I don't know yet. We actually have the sound off for this game, but we'll see what happens here. DeAngelo was not on the ice, actually.
So it was Dmitry Orlov.
Yeah, I think it was Orlov.
And the frustration is, he wasn't on the ice. The frustration is really starting to show. Lemieux is actually going in the locker room. A lot of cluster going on. I wish they would show the replay.
Yeah, I wish too. They haven't really shown the replay of what happened or who started.
I'm definitely going to watch it back just to see after the game has ended. Rod is talking to the referee. Come on, Bally Sports. Let's show the replay.
Even Glasson's not happy. They showed him for a little bit there.
Martinook talking to the officials right now. I think he's kind of confused. The frustration is really starting to show.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
2 minutes and 56 seconds left. This game is pretty much all but over. Carolina 30 shots, Tampa 23. And Tampa will go on the power play once again. Shea Stahl and Martinook out there with Slavin. Hedman out there with Point, Kucherov, Paul, and Stamkos. Nick Paul now, he'll circle around, and he'll bounce it back. Hedman now with it. Hedman looking, a slap shot right in front of the net and ricocheted out, and this will go out of play. Well, not the way you want to end the road trip, as the captain's definitely showing some frustration.
Yes, definitely. Probably the most. Well, I guess you could argue maybe other games, maybe, but definitely a very frustrating game. I think out of all the games on this road trip, I thought Carolina expressed their frustration the most in this game.
This felt like a game that Carolina should have won the way they've played. It's just the penalties, and we can't find a consistent defensive pairing.
And the closest we have is Slavin and Burns.
I think we're going to get a Donnybrook. And here's the fight. Jack Drury and Nick Paul. Oh, God. This isn't good.
I haven't seen it yet. Oh, boy.
Here we go. Nick Paul with a couple of uppercuts here. Right hooks. Drury getting held on by Nick Paul. Drury trying to get free. Nick Paul with a couple of shots. A lot of grabbing so far, and he takes Drury to the ground.
Yeah, the fight just started here.
That was quite a bit of a mismatch, but good for Jack Drury for standing up.
Yeah, good for him. I mean, there's not really much you can do at this point. With a minute 56 left in the game and you're down 3-0. I guess you're just maybe trying to. I mean, I just can't see Carolina coming back 3 goals in that time span. Maybe you can try and get some momentum for the next game, although I don't know. Carolina's just really showing frustration right now.
Well, nice good. Yeah, good job to Jack Drury for standing up. I mean, again, the frustration's showing. They want to take it out any way they can. There's definitely going to be a lot of talking on the way to the locker room and on the way home. Back to Raleigh, and of course at practice. I think it's one of those things too where you're also missing a physical player as well, and Svechnikov. And here is another penalty, and it's going to go against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, anything that happens at this point probably doesn't matter. Tampa's probably pretty much already won.
So Nick Paul. Was he going to no, he's already in the box. Who's going to the box for Tampa?
It's number 12, I believe. I think it might have clipped Slavin. Is my guess. I can't remember who number 12 was.
On Slavin. It was against Slavin.
Yep, it was.
4-on-4 hockey for about 35 seconds. And Carolina has pulled the goaltender. Chernak and Bunting. And D'Angelo back to Natchez. He'll send it back out, and that is a scrum. Jarvis falling on top of Chernak. D'Angelo back to Natchez. Natchez now, he'll try to get his own entry here. Manages to. D'Angelo now. He's up top. That'll go back to Jarvis. Now D'Angelo now. He'll look. Looks for Aho. Aho back out. Natchez tried to look for it. Natchez with a wrist shot. stopped. Aho tried to get to it. So Carolina with a 6-on-4 now. D'Angelo looks for Aho. Aho back out. Looking for D'Angelo, maybe for Jarvis here, maybe to Natchez. Behind the net, Jarvis with a shot. Looking for a tip out in front, but saved by Johansson. And there's a little more pushing and shoving after the play.
Yeah, get that puck off, Bunting. He had a good chance there. Bunting could have had 3 goals tonight. He's had so many good chances.
I'll tell you what, though, I am getting tired of on the power play how we bring it back to the right behind the left of the net and we wait to try to make something happen. We don't move around. Seems like we just stay stationary.
Oh, yeah. I hate that, too.
So right now it's Nason, Bunting, Jarvis, Aho, D'Angelo. Oh, it looks like Aho is getting taken out. Who is... Are they waiting for somebody else? Or Aho? Oh, Teravainen's out there. So clearly they have Nason and Bunting out there for a net front presence. So this is clearly going to go to D'Angelo, then to Natchez for a one-timer. And they lose the face-off. And this will be sent back out just wide of the net, and icing will be cut. No icing.
Yeah, because
icing's been nullified.
Yeah.
All right, so now and an offsides call on Carolina. Why aren't you just letting him play? I don't. It wouldn't have mattered.
No, nothing matters at this point in the game.
So for live streams now, I'm 0-2. Maybe I need to stop doing them.
Yeah.
And the face-off is won, and Sergachev will send this down the ice. D'Angelo will get to it. 15 seconds left here in this game as that is sent back down. Johansson gets to it. Kokoniemi now looking for another option. Back to D'Angelo, back to Kokoniemi. 3 seconds left here. And that will do it at Amalie Arena as the Tampa Bay Lightning move to 3-2-2. And the Carolina Hurricanes move to 3-4 on the year. Final score, 3-0. Carolina with 32 shots on goal, 23 shots for Tampa. 50% face-off percentage for each team. Carolina was 0-4 on the power play, and Tampa Bay was 1-4. 17 penalty minutes each, and Tampa with 9 hits, and Carolina with 8.
Yep, very, very frustrating game for the Hurricanes. You would think their offense would still be there, especially after the previous games, but it wasn't. They got shut out.
Well, what's next? I mean, what do you do from here if you're the Hurricanes?
For Seattle, I mean, maybe because one thing I've noticed, and I'm sure you've noticed too, is that there were quite a bit of defensive pairings. I think Sam said that there was 9.
Yeah, they rotated quite a lot.
Rotated quite a bit. Hurricanes couldn't. I mean, this is another game where the Hurricanes couldn't really make it Carolina Hurricane hockey game. They couldn't establish a forecheck. Tampa was doing excellent to help their goalie there, but a couple things. I think Carolina. Now they've gotten a few quality chances, but you've got to learn to score on those. It's kind of like Carolina a little bit of last season where you get chances, but you can't finish.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Sam and I, we've said this before, the addition of Michael Bunting, Orlov, well, they may help with the offense. They're not the solution. And as much as I love Bunting, I really do. I don't think he's a natural goal scorer, in my opinion.
No, I agree. I think Bunting is there for the power play. He very well is capable of scoring 20 goals, and he's there for a net front presence. I mean, he's a get him at a to get him at the price that we did, especially, is a very good contract, and he definitely is a 20 goal scorer
Oh, I
if
do
he
too. Yeah.
if he keeps playing the way he's playing. Orlov, it was a positive to see Orlov and D'Angelo play a lot better. Um, but there is a lot of work to be done. So hopefully the tide can turn against Seattle.
Yes. I think it needs to be turned. And like what you said earlier, hopefully that home crowd will kind of help Carolina sink back into that Carolina hockey that we know and love from last year.
Absolutely. So I hope y'all enjoyed the stream. You can follow me, Caniac Sessions, on Instagram, X, Facebook, all podcast platforms. And Sam, tell us where everybody can find you.
So you can find me. I am one of the co-hosts of the Caniac Report. You saw Sam Driscoll, who's the other co-host, but you guys can find us on Instagram and Twitter/X, whatever you like to call it.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you all soon.
Say something.